In the brutal podcast system, any jackass with a microphone and internet connection can pose as an expert on any topic under the sun. Fortunately, however, there exists a humble duo of said jackasses who at least aspire to minimize the effects of the current egregious level of aforementioned fake-ass horseshit and those who perpetrate it. This duo attempts this very noble task by allowing you, the listener, to have total unimpeded access to the real minutia of their pathetic everyday lives. This two-member task force is known deep within the podcast world as Zero Front. These are their stories.
Welcome into another edition of Zero Front. This is episode 4 of season 3. It's been a long time. I kind of took a mini break. Last episode, I believe, was in January, so a lot has happened since then. So let's get into it. Did a couple things, went to a couple concerts. I saw the Foo Fighters at Starland Ballroom in Sayreville, New Jersey. They announced a show on a random Wednesday. And they said tickets are only going to be $30. Again, this is the Foo Fighters, so it's crazy that tickets would be $30. They're such a popular worldwide band. But I followed the instructions. I showed up a little bit before 4 a.m., around 1 a.m. There's a lot of cars lined up in the street, and the cops opened up the entrance at Starland Ballroom around 4 a.m. And then I got online. I was online with hundreds of people, probably at least 1,000 people. Made some friends online, talked to some people, waited till 10 in the morning, and then was able to get a ticket for $30. Then the concert was on Saturday, so I saw the Foo Fighters in a really small. The venue only fits, I think, like 3,000 people, and this is a band that sells out stadiums, so it's pretty cool. So I saw the Foo Fighters at a really small venue. They played a lot of good songs. They mixed in some new stuff too. But it was a really cool show, really fun. So that's a concert that I went to. Then I went to saw Bruce Springsteen twice at Madison Square Garden. That was fun. A fellow fan sold me a ticket for face value the first time I saw him, and then the next time I saw him was that. So it was a Monday, a couple weeks ago, and then it was on Saturday. I got to the city early, tried to go to the box office to try to get tickets. And they said, come back in a couple hours. So I went and saw a movie. Then I went back to the box office, and they still didn't put tickets on sale. So then I just bought one on Ticketmaster, probably overpaid because people, the tickets, the concert sold out. So people sell the tickets for a lot of money. But I bought on Ticketmaster. Then 20 minutes later, the box office said, "Okay, we got tickets for sale." And they had like fourth row behind the pit, which is really close to the stage. But there was a obstruction. It was limited view. There was a camera well in the way, so I didn't know how bad a view it would be. So I just kept the ticket that I had a good time. Went to a bar before. Went to O'Brien's in New York City. It's right near Madison Square Garden. I think it used to be called Trax. A bunch of Bruce Springsteen fans were there, met some cool people. But Bruce's show was really cool. The set list was pretty good. He kind of played a political type of theme towards anti-Trump, but that's not really why I was there. I agree with his messaging and stuff, a lot of his politics, but even though a lot of his messaging is, it's just like common human decency and being good to each other and viewing all your fellow citizens as like equals. No one's better than each other. Just because you were born in this country doesn't mean you're better than someone who comes from another country and wants to make a better life for themselves. He's got that one song, Streets of Minneapolis, which talks about the Alex Preddy thing, the Renee Good, those killings by ICE. So the messaging, I agree with a lot of his messaging, but it was kind of like there was some tension. The first night I was there, there were people next to me who were like they were more like Trumpers. So he started talking, Bruce started talking politics, and then people next to me started screaming. They started screaming at the stage, like, Bruce, shut up. You have all our money, this and that. You're a hypocrite. And people next to me said, shut up to them. And they started arguing. And so it was kind of tension in the audience. But the second night wasn't as bad. But it was called the Land of Hope and Dreams Tour. So no, I enjoyed it. It was I was there for the music and the political messaging is he said the same thing at the identical thing at every show, I believe, in the tour. I was reading from a teleprompter. So it's kind of like what politicians do with speeches and stuff, but he's getting old and I guess he wants to keep on task and keep on the subject. Um, so no, but that was cool. I saw Foo Fighters and Bruce Springsteen. So those are the two concerts I went to. Um, and then actually there was an update on the iPhone. And I didn't realize this, but if I went to the city, if I was all the way in the New York City, and I reset my iPhone for any reason after the update, it had to be connected to the Wi-Fi um, at my house, and then or else the phone wouldn't work. I think that's pretty sure that's how it works. So I would have been screwed. I would have had my tickets in the phone and and a disabled iPhone in the city. So I kind of got lucky. Um, that I reset my iPhone when I was at my house and realized this. So if anybody out there, if you update your iPhone, um, after you update it, try to reset it, turn it on and turn it off, and make sure there's no stuff that makes you log in. Because I didn't realize that was a thing where you have to be connected to the Wi-Fi, but I guess that's a thing. Um, so I went to the concerts, the iPhone thing. Um, yeah, I started drinking smoothies again. Started getting back into smoothies. Um, there's a place called like Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And they had some deal. If you order a wrap or a panini, you get like a $2 smoothie. So I did that. I ordered a chicken bacon ranch panini, and I went and picked it up. And then I realized till I got back at home that it was a pesto panini. So then I called them and I said, "You guys gave me the wrong thing." They're like, "All right, come back." And I had already put like avocado on it. So I got back there and she said, "Okay, why is there avocado on this?" So I put avocado on it. She's like, "Do you want me to throw it out?" I was like, "No, that's a waste of food." So, but they gave me the chicken bacon ranch, and then there was no bacon on it. And that happened to me a couple times actually with bacon at McDonald's. I got quarter pounders with cheese at McDonald's recently, and they forgot the bacon because they have a deal on their app. It's 40% off quarter pounder with cheese. You get regular quarter pounder, double quarter pounder with bacon, without. And they forgot the bacon a couple times, and I emailed customer service, and they didn't get back to me. So I guess some places are forgetting some ingredients. But I was thinking at the smoothie place that the reason they gave me the pesto is because they forgot they didn't have any bacon, and I was like, okay, we don't have any bacon. Let's give them a pesto one. But who knows? I can't get into the mind of people who are working at a smoothie place. Um, but yeah, those are some things that are going on, some dumb little stories. But I'm going to get into more things. I'm going to get into some synchronicities, which I started last episode. The synchronicities are when your external environment matches your internal environment, what you're thinking, and there's like these specific coincidences. So I'll do the synchronicities. I'll do movie reviews. I'll do TV show reviews. Some news, some lyrics. Um, Snapple fact. I'm bringing back the Snapple fact. Joe and I used to do Snapple facts. I'm going to bring back the Snapple fact portion of the show. Talk a little bit about sports because some things have happened in sports. Not a ton, but currently the Knicks are in the NBA Finals, and there's three guys from Villanova in the starting lineup. And I obviously went to Villanova, so it's pretty. I've been a Knicks fan for a long time, so I'm excited about that. I'll talk a little bit about that during the sports segment. Um, so I guess I'll get into the synchronicities. The synchronicities of the week is a person in my Discord used the word comp, and I was watching a Dr. Dre music video and it said Compton. Like the Dr. Dre music video came up on my Instagram or something like that, or social media or something, and then simultaneously the person in the Discord said comp. I read the word comp, and the Dr. Dre music video said Compton. So I guess that's a little thing with COMP. I was listening to a show and they said something has energized something, And on my screen simultaneously, I read the word five energies. So a show said something is energized, and on my screen at the same time it said five energies. Another one was I was singing a song in my head, and one lyric was without the word without, and the show I was watching said without at the same time. So these are some things that happen. There are specific coincidences and things that match your external environment and into what you're thinking or what you're watching or what you're reading on your screen. It happens all the time. It happens a couple times a day, and I just try to keep track of them. Um, I don't know the why they happen, but it seems like there's something like our energy and what we're thinking can sometimes match up to our environment, and it's something that I don't think a lot of scientists and people have studied that much of why it happens, but it does. Um, so those are synchronicities of the week. A couple of movie reviews that I have. I have the AMC A-list subscription, so I see like I can see four movies a week if I want. I see pretty much everything that comes in the theaters. So I saw this movie, really good new movie called Backrooms. Theater was filled, but for some reason, uh, this movie Backrooms and Obsession, they're both horror movies. I saw them at like 10 o'clock at night, and both showings, someone brought their baby into the theater. I'm like, and the baby starts crying through the movie. It's like, why are you bringing your baby to a theater? Can't you get a babysitter? Or like, do you really have to go see this movie? Like, there's got to be a better time for you to see the movie than bring a crying baby to the movie. But anyway, the movie Backrooms is about basically a guy owns a furniture store and he discovers that there's a hidden portal into another reality full of just like empty, creepy rooms. I think it all started with a YouTube clip. Someone just had like really creepy rooms and like never ending rooms, like empty rooms and businesses and rooms and houses. So this guy, they made it into a movie, and the guy in the movie finds a hidden portal. Like he touches the wall, and his hand goes through the wall. He's able to go to like this another dimension where there's like hidden rooms, and basically it gets really creepy, and a lot of weird stuff happens. And I don't want to give too much away, but actually it was a really good movie. I give it a 7.9. Then I saw a movie called Obsession, where this guy has a crush on his coworker, and he buys this thing from a some sort of random store that has a lot of random stuff. He buys this Make a Wish thing where you crack the thing in half and you make a wish and your wish comes true. He thought he was just buying it and it was just like some BS thing that doesn't work, but obviously it's a movie. Um, so he buys the thing and he makes a wish that this girl that he has a crush on will love him more than anyone else in the world. And the wish comes true, and this girl becomes obsessed with him, hence the name Obsession. And a lot of crazy stuff happens. I thought it was really good. I gave it a 7.3. So that movie was really good. Sorry, I had to stop the show a couple times. My dog is barking, seemingly at nothing, just noises from outside, starts randomly barking. So I had to go check on him. Um, so Obsession 7.3, Backroom 7.9. Then I saw the Michael Jackson biopic. It was really good. It was all about Michael Jackson's life. I saw a movie when I was younger about Michael Jackson's life and how his dad was abusive and how they created the Jackson Five and how Michael Jackson rose to fame. But this movie was a more modern day version of that. It was really good. The theater was packed. The music they played good songs, and the cool part about it was the theater was packed. Whenever they started playing one of the songs, the whole theater got like really excited and started clapping. So it just shows the enthusiasm for his music. I don't know all the accusations against him. The movie didn't go into that, but I don't know if any of that stuff is true. There's no way to really prove it. Um, it's all people trying to. It seems like there's people trying to get money from his estate, and who knows if he was actually a child molester or not. The movie didn't talk about that. The movie more focused on his life and his music. Um, but I thought it was a good movie. And the thing about it, I heard that he bought the catalog to the Beatles, and he bought a lot of powerful music catalogs. And then he visited Palestine or Israel. He started speaking out against Israel, and that's when the accusation started. So there's some conspiracies that because he owns so much powerful, Beatles music catalog and a bunch of other music, the master, the records, the rights to the records and the songs, and he spoke out against Israel, that's when the accusation starts. So it could be a conspiracy. I have no idea, but that's neither here or there. I thought the movie was really good. His music still holds up. It's still music's still really good. The movie was really good. I gave the movie Michael a 7.8. Then TV shows that I'm watching. Um, I watch a couple good shows. One was called The Beauty on FX. It's about basically this miracle medicine. Someone gets an injection and then like they could turn into a whole different person. They're all of a sudden they're like a model. And there's all like a whole conspiracy with the show and people violence happening and side effects to the medicine. Ashton Kutcher's in it. I'd score. I don't really score TV shows, I guess, but I think I recommend it. It's on FX. It's called The Beauty. Another show I watched on Paramount Plus was called Cold Water. Basically about this guy. He's at the park with his daughter, and some other guy like hits his own kid, and he starts like getting really violent, and the guy doesn't do anything about it. Um, he doesn't step in or say anything, and the whole like show he lives with that he's like regretting not stepping in and not you know manning up was what they say, or just doing something about it when someone else is doing something messed up. Um, and all this other crazy starts happening. He meets a crazy guy. They move to a whole other country because he doesn't want to be where he doesn't want to remind him of the incident at the park. He meets some crazy guy and some crazy things start happening. So I thought that was really good. That's on Paramount Plus. So The Beauty on FX, Cold Water on Paramount Plus, and then another show on HBO Max called Half Man. It's about two brothers, stepbrothers, and one brother's really violent, um, and they have a really weird relationship, and crazy stuff happens. Um, just a really good show. Highly recommended. Richard Gadd made it. He's the same guy who made the show Baby Reindeer. Um, so that's a show I recommend. Then I guess I'll get into really quickly the song lyrics. This week's song lyrics are "You're out of touch, I'm out of time, but I'm out of my head when you're not around." That's from a 1984 song called "Out of Touch" by Daryl Hall and John Oates, otherwise known as Hall and Oates. It's off their 1984 album called Big Bam Boom. I thought that song came on. I love that. I love Hall and Oates. But that song came on. It really hit me. It's a really catchy song. It's a really good song. Um, just a solid song. And I get it's about like people growing apart. You're saying you're out of touch, I'm out of time, but I'm out of my head when you're not around. So they can't live without each other. But it's about a complicated relationship. And I think the beginning of the song is like "Shake It Up is all we know," and people just living in dysfunctional emotional relationships and just like losing control and then losing touch with each other, and things getting complicated and complex. So those are the song lyrics. Um, and then I'm going to get into the news. A couple things are going on. Um, couple things are going on. Obviously, we're at war with Iran. Currently, there's obviously I'm recording the show in the United States. And we're currently at war with Iran. And I'm not really sure what the reason is. I mean, do they have nuclear bombs? Do they not? Is it all for oil money? Because the last episode I talked about how we invaded Venezuela and they have a lot of resources. So it's like, I don't know. The Strait of Hormuz, where a lot of the oil gets transported, has been like really shut down. So gas prices in the United States and probably a lot of different places have gone way up. So I don't really know why we're in Iran. I mean, I feel bad for the soldiers who have to go to war because war is never good. But um, yeah, so we're at war with Iran, um, and that's obviously not good. And hopefully that ends soon. Um, and then the Epstein files. Trump still is shying away from the Epstein files and not just talking straight up about what's going on and why he's in the files. So, you know, the Epstein files are still like all those people who were abused by these creepy older guys on an island and God knows where else. haven't really got justice, and it's kind of been swept under the rug, that issue. Um, and we're distracted by stories such as going to our war with Iran, invading Venezuela. Um, so, you know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you know, if these people why do they get away with this stuff? You know what I mean? Why do powerful people always get away with horrible crimes, and money solves everything in terms of their legal issues? It's just not right. Um, and then I saw Nancy Guthrie, her mom, or Savannah Guthrie's mom is Nancy Guthrie, and she got kidnapped, and no one's still haven't solved that. Um, and I think Savannah Guthrie, she's a host on the NBC Today show, really well known for people like who know morning TV. But her mom still hasn't been found. And there's a conspiracy that once Savannah Guthrie started speaking out against Israel or investigating Israel, um, that's when the kidnapping happened. So it's kind of like those are conspiracy theories. So there's no really real way to prove it. But um, that happened. That's still going on. Her mom hasn't been found. Um, Other horrible story I saw was a Chick-fil-A worker, a disabled Chick-fil-A worker, was driven to suicide because these two people in their 20s, a boy and a girl, they extorted him. They stole his phone and they made up lies about him. And he thought he was going to get in trouble. He only has like he's only a fourth grade education in terms of his ability to comprehend things. And he was driven to suicide. So it just shows people do horrible things, you know? Um, so that happened. Every day there's horrible stories like that, things that happen like that. So, and then apparently there's going to be a UFC event in the White House. They're still building that big ballroom, spending over $1 billion, I think, on a ballroom, which is crazy. But um, they're also constructing a UFC stage. Going to have a UFC event at the White House, which I'm not really sure why, but that's just an example. I mean, the Trump presidency, there's some crazy things that happen and some things that feel like a reality TV show or a movie or something like that, fiction, but it's the world we're living in. So those are some news stories. And then some pet peeves I have is when I'm at the gym, when I go to use a treadmill, because there's certain treadmills where the TV works and other treadmills the TV doesn't work. So I want to watch TV while I'm on the treadmill or the exercise machine, the elliptical, the Stairmaster, whatever. And sometimes people put a piece of article of clothing on the machine, which prevents you from using that machine. So sometimes there's only like one machine left, or I just want the one with the TV that works. So it's not like I want to be next to the person, um, but I have to use the machine. I'm working out, and there's certain things it has, like a working TV. So they put the clothes on or the water bottle on the thing, and I have to go on there and I have to say, hey, I'm going to use this machine. But that's the pet peeve I have. Um, Another pet peeve is I don't mind the cold because I go for a walk pretty much every night. I walk a lot. Um, Clear my head, listen to music. It's really good therapeutic. I recommend anybody who has the ability to go outside, go for a walk. It's really healthy. But I don't mind the cold, but I do mind the wind. It's the wind when it's combined with the cold. The wind really makes it unpleasant, especially if you're walking into the wind. Um, and I think I've noticed a lot of TV stations because at the gym or whatever I'm watching TV, they have commercials at the same time. It's like bizarre. It's like they're like on the same like timeline. Like, why are there commercials at the same time um, for different TV stations? It's really weird. I don't really understand it. But it's annoying because I'll be watching something it goes to commercial. I'll put on another station, especially when I'm at the gym and I'm trying to maximize my time. And I don't want to stare at commercials. I put on another station, and then all of a sudden there's um, commercials on that station. It's really weird. And another pet peeve I have is when you go to a restaurant or a fast food establishment and you get a drink and they put too much ice in the drink, so it's barely any liquid. It's mostly ice. So, couple of my pet peeves. Um, so what else is going on? We did the movie reviews, TV shows, news, lyrics. I guess I'll do the Snapple fact. Snapple fact number 460. Astronauts get taller in space. Apparently, astronauts can temporarily grow about 2 inches while they're in space. It sounds weird, I guess, when you think about it, but apparently it's because gravity compresses our spine and the soft disc between our vertebrae. Um, the downward pressure and the microgravity of space allows the spine to stretch and expand. So the astronauts grow about 2 inches. So apparently there was astronauts who just went to the moon and back. They didn't go on, which I don't understand. Artemis, they went. You've probably heard about it. It's called Artemis. They went to the moon. They slingshotted all the way past the moon and back. But I don't understand, like, why did they actually go on the moon? Like, apparently, when we first went to the moon, there's still conspiracies that we didn't actually go to the moon. And we have all this technology now to actually go to the moon, and we're sending astronauts beyond the moon, but we're not sending them to the moon. Like, why aren't we going to the moon just to prove all these conspiracy theories wrong? We actually can go to the moon. That wasn't all like a conspiracy. So, that I guess that relates to the Snapple fact that astronauts get taller in space, um, but yeah. Um, Other things that are going on, quickly mention there's a really cute monkey called Punch the Monkey. It's at a Japanese zoo, and his mom abandoned him or something like that. So he got bullied by the other monkeys at the zoo, and he became like a social media sweetheart. Um, Really cute little monkey, and there's new videos of him for people visiting the zoo. There's long lines to see him at the zoo. Um, so that's pretty crazy. Cute little monkey, and you have to see the social media videos to see he's just a cute little monkey and he's getting bullied, but then other monkeys start defending him. He attaches himself to a plush um, stuffed animal monkey that becomes like his little like security blanket. So he runs away. He gets the little security plush. It's a cute little story about a cute little monkey in a Japanese zoo. Punch the monkey. Look it up. I saw a horrible story about people who go to airports all the time and they ditch their dogs. They'd rather fly. They can't. They say the dog can go on the flight. I'm not sure. They bring the dog to the airport and then they ditch the dog at the airport, which is like really random and horrible and heartless. Like they'd rather go to where they're going and then they leave the dog there and the dog has to go to like a shelter or someone has to adopt the dog, hopefully. But people are really horrible. Um, And then I saw a story about a dog sitter who put a shock collar on the dog. The owner asked them to send a picture of their dog, and the dog had a weird collar on. And they said, "What is that?" And the person said, "Oh, that's just their collar, or that's just some." They made up like a story, and basically it was a shock collar. So be careful who you let watch your dog. Some people put shock collars on the dogs. I don't know why. The dog's barking too much or whatever. They're trying to control the dog, but it's really horrible. Um, Another horrible story I saw was homeless people some are drug addicts, and they use dogs to test the drugs out um, to make sure the drugs aren't deadly. So they test the drugs in the dog first to see if the dog if has a negative side effect. That's really horrible. Anybody abusing dogs, doing horrible things, they're really horrible. And then the Ozempic craze. I want to speak about the Ozempic craze. So many people are going on Ozempic. It's ridiculous. Just do the work yourself. Watch what you eat, exercise. Even if you don't have time to exercise, you could find time. I mean, there's always time to find, to exercise. But also, it's not even about exercising too. It's about controlling your calories. It's calories in and calories out. This medicine, Ozempic, it's not some miracle drug. Like there's been side effects where people's like organs have failed. They don't know the long-term effects either. So a lot of people are going on Ozempic to try to lose weight magically. But I said, do it yourself and don't take these dangerous drugs. It's making a lot of money for pharmaceutical industry, but I'd be very wary about using Ozempic. It's like there's really no shortcuts in life, and that's one example. So, um, what else? I guess I'll get into sports. The Knicks made the finals for the first time since 1999. We played the Spurs. I've been a Knicks fan for about 25 years. Basically, when Michael Jordan retired, I became a Knicks fan because I couldn't really root for the Chicago Bulls anymore. Um, and I have the MSG network where I live, so I get to watch the games on TV. I just became a big fan of the Knicks, started watching a ton of their games, and I've been watching a lot of their games for the past 25 years and have gone through really horrible times and not winning and not success. And now we have three Villanova guys, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, in Mikal Bridges, and we made the finals, and we've won 11 in a row, I believe. The last game we lost was to the Hawks in the first round. We swept the Sixers, um, we swept the Cavs, and we're playing the Spurs, and they have Victor Wembanyama, who's very good. He's 7'5" and a crazy wingspan. He can shoot threes. He can dribble. So we beat them in the NBA Cup Finals, the in-season tournament. But it's going to be, this is best out of seven, so we got to beat them four more times. But it's exciting. The Knicks are in the finals. That's really exciting. I'm excited for that. Since I last done a show, a lot of things have happened. The USA men's hockey team won the Olympic gold medal, which is really cool. And there's a whole thing of politics with that, where just because the men's Trump called the U.S. men's hockey team, and he just made some jokes. He's like, "Oh, I guess they're going to call the women's team now," or something. He made a joke about the women's team. It's a dumb little joke, and some guys laughed at it. So people made it into a big thing where there's like some like, the men's hockey team is somehow all Trumpers and they're racist and they're misogynistic and stuff, and it was all blown out of proportion, which I thought was crazy. It's like the U.S. hockey team has won the gold medal since the 80s. Should be celebrating the team, not focusing on some Trump call that he called. He spoke to the team. It's a dumb thing that happened. But so the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, it was kind of a horrible Super Bowl. Patriots really didn't play well. It was boring. It was kind of boring. The Seahawks won the Super Bowl. USA team won gold medal. The NFL draft happened. I'm an Eagles fan. We got this guy named Mekhi Lemon, who's supposed to be a really good receiver. He's from USC, so I'm excited about him. We traded A.J. Brown today to the Patriots for a couple of draft picks, including a first rounder. So yeah, NHL Finals, the Stanley Cup Finals start tonight. So that's exciting. I believe it's Vegas versus Carolina. So yeah, that's sports. Go Knicks. Hopefully they win. Hopefully the next show I do. And by the way, I'm probably going to do a show. This went way too long without a show, but I just had a lot of stuff going on. And I'm trying, to put in motion to get guests on the show. So I want to interview people. So I'm going to try to do that. Interview some guests, because I liked having Joe as a co-host, but obviously Joe had stuff going on in his life. He couldn't do the show anymore. He didn't want to do the show. So get some guests in the show. And do more shows for more frequently. This has been since January, now it's June. So thank everyone for listening. Follow on social media. Sean Matthew 13 on Instagram and Twitter. Sean reviews stuff on TikTok, do some food reviews here and there. We don't really have active social media accounts with the actual show. I haven't done any advertising with the show, but maybe that will change. But follow, like, and subscribe. Tell your friends about the show. Zero Front. Thanks everyone for listening. Hopefully everyone has a great start to the summer, and take care.